Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last episode, we concluded the third day for the trial, and we're now going to go back to the investigation. And hopefully we can get more info out of this, so let's start. Wright and Cole offices. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SO9 incident was just another name for the Joe Darke killings. Sounds like everyone heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Darke convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Darke's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. What do you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night of Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Darke tried to kill me. This explains why you're the victim in this. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, is only trying to save me. So that means you? Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Darke trial. I didn't see that one coming. But why would you? Okay, but what was the reason behind forged evidence? She literally saw Neil Marshall get murdered. Isn't that proof enough at all? It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Darke. It seemed like he was running from somewhere. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Darke tried to take me hostage. Before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. And then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. Permanent picture. I don't remember the moment when Darke stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my... So that's how he had a reputation for forging evidence. That's when it all started. If I could have just testified proper, none of this would happen. So it's true. Even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After the case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. What did you see in that instant that crime occurred? Darke knocked Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lonnie was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided I would grow up to become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies, and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Darke had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course, that's what happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. Why would he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices and questioning rooms are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. Wait, she wasn't a prosecutor at the time? After the Joe Darke case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective. I better have another talk with her. So, I think we gotta, like, go talk to Lana, I guess. Lana. Mr. Wright. It seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsified evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana. Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SO9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed you that no matter what happened, you'll always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul to the devil. Well, all drama aside, a matter of the fact is, at 15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. Gant. They still talk about the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant. He was the deputy chief police back then. He was still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports can be even filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I became in command of the detectives investigating Darke. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Yes, Deputy Chief Gant, and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case was Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. First time Marshall worked was with his brother, he was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Darke was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place, when he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Darke. See, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Darke that day. Investigation was in its final stages. Darke must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down and fled the room. From there he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Darke. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect Joe Darke. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Darke incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. Picked up Emma, carried out of the room, just held by her. Can't blame her after her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Darke under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were involved in the all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence. I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But the case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes. His actions came to me as a surprise as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Darke. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live in the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Darke at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kinda quiet around here today. You're right. The chief detectives seem the same though. Wait to look for some people to talk to. Right. We can come back later. That's it, the villain used a time machine. Very clever indeed. That would explain the alibi. The future might be not so far away after all. He's writing a novel. What? Darke case may have been fabricated. That's what I thought all along. I just never bothered to tell anyone. Now, there's a guy who cares about his work. Maybe he's at the entrance. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall, you do realize you might be going to jail. And why is he still running out and about? You tried to assault Meekins, even though I don't like Meekins. You still tried to assault Officer Meekins. I never thought things turned out this when I wake up this morning. Okay, Sarah, you never know where life lead you, Bambina. Maybe I should've known my luck had dried out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? It's over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why those prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, do you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like we won't be getting steak lunch today. There was something fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either, all the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported to inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean the switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Darke's alright, but the initial autopsy report was was raised. Question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wounds victims sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance that the knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case was left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the S9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. But he was the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it all went down. It was our first case together. Hold on, I'm gonna drink. Alright. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the king of prosecutors. I knew it. What are you looking at me that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day of the SO9 incident took place. That wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to seal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently, someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered. The evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. This star was fired and I was demoted and I boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, the commissioners would get suspicious, and they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant. What is Gant hiding? The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second command, Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. The case was the biggest step for both of their careers. After that case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She never got the same ever since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emmett said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina. Her secret is well too guarded. I never found out. Not a secret, it's all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It's certainly enlightening. There was one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edward isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave me the evidence and planned everything. That someone is Gant. Damon Gant. I knew it! I fucking knew it! Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Damn. This place is always pretty empty. Today's dessert. That's mean everyone's solving crimes. Oh, it's you. If you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to her. The chief prosecutor saying what she did. The decision about what to do, Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement into the media tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we would like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building. And take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Fuck it. That's a really big place. This is where the murder took place. Whoa! Where the hell am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it says on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. Thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. My fucking ears! I never could remember where C was. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. Who put that paper he was reading in his desk? So, Wright, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I haven't been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full with Miss Marshall's conduct, too. And Lana's provocative statement. Oh, you mean the forged evidence, right? 2 years ago have passed since that incident. Oh my, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Chief Prosecutor, or Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Wait what's... What? Why is there a... Why... Wait a second. Wait a fucking second. Hold on a second. That jar... There's no way this is This is very coincidental. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite put my finger on it though. Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's the vase. Gant knows something. Anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh, you son of a bitch! No, we want to investigate here. Oh, But this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long been over, since there's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. You son of a bitch! You did it! You did it! I know it's you! Looks like we aren't welcome. Seems that case isn't over with yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief can't deny our request to search the crime scene. There must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? Just gotta be get inside the chief's office. Hey, pal. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, I'm serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Hey, have any of you seen Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No? Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. It's because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. Falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Sky's the guilty party here, isn't she? Well, regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they presented in court. Not only that, as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor kept him safe for those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, those with the talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies. Hey Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime, I treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. Seems like you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm not careful to not stick out. I'm a bit worried about him. And under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while coffee was brewing. He's genuinely concerned about Edgeworth. Well, did you find anything out? Only evidence Darke left behind during his final attack. Final attack? You don't mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, was trying to protect some girl. Me. Seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Let's see. He had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written here. Okay, his powers recollection never failed to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. Might jog his memory. Joe Darke was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. Businessman? What made him to take the serial killer? One day, he's on his way home from work. He hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transported him to an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed him second crime. Kid walked away dead, so he killed him too. When he was burying bodies, a jogger came up to the scene and he was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. This guy was fucking crazy. Look at his eyes. Crazy eyes. Seems like he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture, but there wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. But in the middle of his question, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Darke was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, aka Emma. Yeah. About this. Hey, is that? It has a tag attached to it. It's labeled the it has a tag attached to it. It's labeled the SO9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in the locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, it suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edwards' car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. This knife, it was Joe Darke's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it, plus he had fingerprints attached on it. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice it. Yeah, well, anyway, take a guess where the broken off tip the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it in his own body. It's found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Darke's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. What happened? Neil's autopsy report. Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and lung, and a knife tip was in the wound. Switchblade knife. The broken tip was found in the victim's body. Belonged to the murderer Joe Darke. Well, there you have it. You have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. See, one more thing. The hell is it? If it's money you need to ask, you should ask Gant. Not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where the prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Chief's out now, and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, if any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What, really? Well, if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be Ken. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. In other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something that could change his mind. We need there's nothing we... Ow! No one's here today, not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy with exactly what went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved it in court today, on the day of the crime. No one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. Instead, it looks like it just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Hey, Daddy, you did the government thingy? Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's check the High Prosecutor office. Huh? Something dropped? Oh, what happened? Sorry, something happened in our house. Well, alright, it looks like they fixed it. Sorry, guys. Wonder if Edward's back yet. There he is. He looks like he's writing something. What the hell are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Gee, Mr. Thatcher, I'm rooting for you. That's Edward for you. always trying to hide his real feelings.
Ow! Ow! Hold up.
So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look. You crazy? Edward is sitting right there. Just distract him, I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. That detective dumped you out the window? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. Let me first see what's gross crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of... If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says, letter of resignation. Resignation, Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know that. That the path I walk you don't need to tell me. And the path I walked hasn't just been one. Can't forgive myself what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation, if I can use it for anything. Are we gonna tell Dick Gumshoe about this? Fuck it. No excuse for what I've done. Forged evidence. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to. And nothing I could do to erase that fact. But you didn't know, didn't you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, and my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. The fact remains the same, no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work, so tell me why. Why has it always come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotions bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. But to be honest, you're getting in my nerves. Mr. Edgeworth, we can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at that time. Say we saw a picture taken around that time. That picture. Something seems strange about it. Can you tell us what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over the station, right? I never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this. Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on this ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning. The drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Ah, the screwdriver. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't you? What if that was the murder weapon? I have a feeling if Chief Gant gave this to you, what if that really was the murder weapon? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story you heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Yeah, we have to present the picture. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall just hadn't started making a name for him. Wait a second, I noticed something else too. This sting. Why is the shield half broken as well? Looks like this was taken when you received the King of it looks like this was taken when you received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes, the trophy that Mr. Marshall is holding. It looks a little different than yours. You sure? Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? Remember what? That was when the official prosecutor showed what it looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Oh, the thing that line thing is gone. This award originates from the ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Well, you tell it though, for Emma's sake. We don't actually know it. Very well. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed he could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield that could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit both. I like how we're doing this, even though we're not in trial. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. The chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. Symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if the result is in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edger. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you the only one given a shield? You have to ask Chief Gant. Gant knows something! I just know it! I just know it! 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Halberd was moved at Gant's behest, giving it its current form. Okay, if he received this reward today, could he have taken it out? The thing out. The broken knife thing. Alright, let's go back to the parking lot then. So I'm gonna drink my drink. Oh boy. Excuse me. Oh, it's you. Star. Would any of you care for a quarter-pound roast beef? Miss Star? I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kinda like the first person who sucked a cow. I'm not gonna say that phrase. Fuck that. I'm not gonna say that phrase. Okay. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very data evidence that the case was due for transferal. Can we all be attributed to mere coincidence? Forgetting something. You know, that little scene I happened to the witness. Instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much the past you dig it won't change what I saw. Roast beef was meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Star's hatred toward Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Joe Darke is a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steaming in a hot bowl of gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. He must have been going through hell. I mean, because of his brother's death. We're close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her, Lana Skye, my sister. The best of the best were put into the LCL9 case. Of course, they were led by the legendary duo, Lana and Gant. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up with our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Darke got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, or other items were kept secret. But you don't have to prove anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. Witnesses are proof! Witnesses! No? The witnesses are not proof for evidence! No? Alright, fine then. That case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties, most without so much an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used. Damon, Gant, and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation while Lana was second in command. They were the best. Gant! It comes back to Gant every goddamn time. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism, in particular, was almost unreal. His magnetism. By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence, you mean? Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about the forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana, and one of the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She did anything crooked, always watched for the other detectives. That's why she's so concerned for Jake, Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have been recovered from his shock. That's what makes it more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why. I won't ever be able to forgive her. Why did she have to be so cold after that? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Thanks to the Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position of Chief was secured. The only one thing left for him to control. No one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? You can control the chief prosecutor. He could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. Yeah. But how could he control Lana? I don't know. But for one thing's for sure, ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her to change. At last, finally starting to get close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create a fine cuisine. Hope you turn out I've been a better chef than I've been. Alright, let's finally move on to the criminal department thingy. talk to Gumshoe.
Oh, you're back.
You're still here.
I gotta make 150 copy of these files. Doing copying files, I'm turning to a regular DJ.
You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ.
God, I'm all your persistency, and my answer's still no.
And we'll see about that.
I'm not letting you into the chief's office, period.
You'll be my neck on the line. The office is the last crime scene, the SO9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Hey Jared, what happened? Nothing? Okay. Back to where we were. Let's present this. Edgeworth gave this.
What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious.
Is he ever not serious?
I can't believe they pushed him this far.
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
When I first met him, I thought he was cold as ice too. I know different now. He trusts us detectives to provide him with sound evidence, but we betrayed him.
Detective.
That's it. I made up my mind.
But
here, take my ID card.
we can't do that if someone found out. They wouldn't let you off the hook for another lost item report. Huh? Did I? Oops. Wait, no, wait. It's been there for... Okay, never mind.
Look at me, it's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may as well be good as terminated.
What?
So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
Alright, detective, thank you. Okay. This is the moment of truth. This is the moment of truth. Now, that's some unique music, I guess. We're in. If anyone finds us now, take a gumshoes a gum.
If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out.
Eek!
Gah!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! Ah!
What are you doing sneaking up on us like that?
I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too.
You're here, then what's the point of giving us your ID card? ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket.
Hey, don't do that to my card! All I ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I might as well take a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now.
Really do want to get fired, don't you? Yes.
Not if we're lucky. Come on, let's see what we can find out.
I got a bad feeling about this. This is a real deal. These are armor and these weapons.
Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations.
First the pipe organ and now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What do you mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay.
Sure, be quiet what you say. Who knows? The chief may come back hiding this armor as we speak.
I don't think he fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be.
You can see pretty far from 50 stories up. If we were to drop that suit of armor from here.
At first, the chief wanted to use stained glass for this window.
Really? Why didn't he?
They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see the view.
Oh. Stained glass or not, it's a huge window. This
This is a safe, isn't it? Safe? That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so.
Looks like a code needs to enter this panel to open it. 7-digit number. I might just know what it is. Wait a second. 7 digits? It can't be. It can't be. His is... No. If it's right... If I'm...
You know what it is?
I have a hunch.
Oh, I know. You might want to try my birth date. It's...
I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Okay. If my theory works, then he's the culprit. I'm for certain he would be the culprit after this. If I'm wrong, well, that'd be pretty awkward. No way! No way! So it really was him. Bingo. What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was that, pal?
777. 7777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The numbered mysterious officer who was entered that room that day.
You mean 777777? The ID card number?
I think you're 1-7 shy this time.
It can only mean one thing, that Chief Gant's ID number.
Say, anyone care to look inside?
Is there any money there? How much did he have stashed away?
Look, it's Oh my god. Oh my god. He's guilty. He's guilty. This evidence comes back to the jar from our second investigation. He's fucking guilty. But why? Why would he have... Well... But why would... I need to figure out the answers, but why? This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here, too. What's this? It's like a piece of letter cloth. This is a handprint, isn't it?
Hey, I saw someone wearing that shirt like that once. You think the Chief made up that design?
I don't think so.
Oh! Well, I thought it was just a thought.
Is that it? Is that all is in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. Of all the things, why would you keep it in that safe? You could have thrown the evidence out. Now this is very suspicious.
Piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup.
They look like pieces of evidence.
Yeah, unless you can prove they have something to do with this case. I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
Great, now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SO9 incident? Come on, there's gotta be something we can show the detective. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here...
Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gant. With that paper he was reading at his desk. Is this paper still there? I wonder what he was reading.
This looks like a list of evidence.
List of evidence?
In most cases, this runs twice as long as this, though.
Hey, look at the case name. Huh?
Oh, SO9 incident. Wonder what this is doing here.
Hold on, detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what...
No, about evidence lists. Normally, they're twice as long.
Oh, that's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
Half-size list of evidence. List of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. I want to look at this list. What the? What this is? It looks like someone drew kind of sketch. This is what the murder looks like. From what Lana saw. I mean, what? Yeah. No, not Lana. Emma saw. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? Better not forget this picture. Seven to 7:30. Single stab wound, heart loss. Died from blood for 10 minutes. Weapon found missing in the tip. Okay.
Chief Zorga sure is a sight to behold. Occasionally we hear him play for the Criminal Affairs Department.
That's on the 2nd floor, and this is the 15th floor of an entirely different building.
When a detective screws up, the chief calls him to his office. Makes him listen to the organ for hours.
What's so bad about that? Music soothes the soul.
After that, the detective can't hear anything for days except for the ringing in their ears.
It's an instrument of punishment. Literally. Aren't the chief's ears affected?
He never listens to anyone anyway.
That's beside the point. This was Lana's desk. It sure is tidy. Lana always been a meticulous cleaner. There's not even any dust on it. It looks like someone's still keeping it clean. Does Lana ever come back here?
No. Chief Gan must keep it clean in memory of their partnership. They're always the stuff of legends are made of.
Does it keep in memory of her? Or in the memory of the crime?
Look at that giant window. Makes you want to crash through and jump outside.
This is the 15th floor.
I know, I was just saying.
Saying what?
Ever since making the tech, I always dreamed about doing something like that.
Note to self, Detective Gumshoe has a lot of dreams. So long as he doesn't go crashing through that window when he gets fired. Don't say that. These shelves are mostly empty. Lana must have cleaned them when she transferred to the prosecutor's office. Small picture for you on the left shelf. Hey, it's when Lana and I went to that theme park. This was taking the day 2 years ago. The day Joe Darke ran out of the questioning room and tried to kill Emma.
After receiving his reward from Mr. Marshall took a picture here, and went along with Chief Gant to question Darke. I bet he never knew he'd be dead just a few hours later.
Gee, you think? Alright. Let's like fix some stuff that was like shown. Like this. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
I remember that when the three of us put it back together. Oh, those were the days.
It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case?
Oh, that's right. One of the shards at the SO9 incident sticker on it.
Doesn't this ring any bells? You just know that fragment we just found.
You mean this one? That was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
Just right, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again, it'll probably prove Chief Gant was not only hiding evidence. Here goes. Bingo. I see. There. It fits like a charm. Of course that means Chief can't only and only hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SO9 incident. But
Hey guys, get a load of this!
what is it?
This piece you just attached. It's different from the others.
Yeah, it's blood. Wait, what? Great. There's a reddish line on it. Reddish line? That's blood.
I don't get it. Why would the Chief can't hide this in his safe?
Okay, I want to see this. Hey, look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here. Looks like blood. This piece the Chief has is different, though. The blood stains on the other pieces are just spots. This one's a line. That is odd. There's something wrong. There is a lot. Okay. Why is the blood spread like that? That's the question. It's trying to tell us something, but what? The question is, why? What did the Chief do in the freaking evidence room? Okay, where's that other thing? Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this.
Hey, I know what that is. You want to take some finger?
It's a great idea, Detective.
Alright, go to town. Jeez.
What are you doing? Why aren't you sticking your hand out like that?
Go ahead, take my fingerprints.
It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Huh?
Come on, this is time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe.
Oh, heh. I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Jeez, where's your sense of humor?
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the clock, and once they've been absorbed and complete, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? Me told 1,000,000 times. Alright, let's get this over with. I gave it my best shot. That kind of result would be good for any matching prints, will it? Looks like we'll get a clear result from this print. Let's try a different finger then. Let's try this finger. Gave it my best shot? Okay, how about the middle finger? It's not yet. Who is it? Emma's? Wait, Emma's? But why? No, how can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing? Hey, you found a match. Whose fingerprints were they? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Darke's prints.
Psst. Hey, you over here. What's going on in here? What are the kids' prints doing inside the Chief's safe?
Don't ask me. Let's keep this information from Emma for now.
Here, maybe you should hold on to this.
This is a handprint, right? Yeah, someone left behind an oil stain on the fabric. Whoever it was must have had a really oily hand. Mr. Wright, think about it scientifically. Huh? More like an explanation is, the person slipped and fell on a freshly waxed floor, getting wax all over their hand. But that would account for this amount of oil, I guess. I don't see what's so scientific about it, though. Happens, I always slip on the floors at school after they've waxed. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yes, it was where I was waiting for Lana on the day 2 years ago. Is there anyone else using it now?
No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
Strange reason to leave it there.
He leaves as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
I see. Ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk.
No one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who's here each morning.
Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There could possibly be any clues remaining.
Could I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? It's because one of the SL9 crime scenes? I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think, nah, you wouldn't be, no. There's no way, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay, now then, let's look a bit more.
Hey, hold on, not so fast, buddy.
What is it?
Someone tells you don't worry about it. It's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't let it go at that.
Sorry, but this guy is getting on my nerves. Okay, what's bothering you?
You don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you?
What? He's right, mister. What do you think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet.
There you go again, ignoring me. Well, was I any help?
Of course. Thanks to your ID code, we were able to get some hard evidence. Oh, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless.
You son of a bitch!
Isn't that right? You and the code?
Chief Gant!
We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in his size. I was walking to my meeting, and I happened to look out a window and stray dog ran right into a pole. Just when I thought of a certain detective.
Do you mean me, sir?
No, Gumshoe! Now I'm afraid you'll be going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir, sorry. You in the coat.
Me, sir?
Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. No! Gumshoe! Gumshoe! Please!
But, sir!
Now, get out!
Yes, sir.
We'll be on our way too then. Wait! You're the one with the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir. I'd like a word with you. But sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spike hair, you're free to go. But Mr. Wright! What are you doing with Emma?
Look, pal, I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. Well, you just had to go seeking there like that, didn't you?
Thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it.
Now that I've seen evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm starting to get the picture. Fuck! She has Emma! Emma! He's gonna take Emma as a hostage. Fucking Gant. Fucking Gant. Okay. But eerie? Why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time?
Anyway, you listen to me, I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
Yeah, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions. She'll be busy for the rest of the day. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning.
It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to do everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. I already told you all I can. But if you told me over these past couple days, there's absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really, I believe I did mention something quite important. I told you right at the beginning. I said I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you were convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insist you did it, but yet there's no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you were unwilling to tell the truth, it's that you were incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may I speak? This person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposed to be so frightened of? What is this person's name? Obviously, Gant. Gant! Well, Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respected, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know about the truth behind the forgery. The only party he could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. You intend to accuse Chief Gant? You need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified that evidence. Oh ho 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 ho! We got some evidence right here that we found. I found this in the safe. The Chief's office. This jar piece? This piece of cloth? Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SO9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you all taking the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmise, I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright, you can't possibly expect me to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Perhaps I should say follow orders. That's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say I was given an order that day. I need to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Wait a second. So she didn't murder in front of Angel Star. All she did was just check out the body, just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you are not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. He was already dead from the beginning. Correct. I was just trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken. I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, the knife was stuck in it. The knife from the SO9 incident, serial killer Joe Darke's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgewood knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. It's the real reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems that I got the blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then, she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. A star, huh? Why did you need to hide Darke's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Darke case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible. So, you hid Darke's knife. The weapon used in the stab detective was evidence in the Joe Darke case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife into your scarf and hid it in Edward's exhaust pipe. Right, then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. That's when she called Emma. We finally got that answer on why she was trying to call Emma. I didn't want anyone to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling. The truth is, after I received those orders from the Chief Gant, first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SO9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off in an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die? He decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card. It seems he hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and as an investigator. Now please, won't do this any further in court tomorrow. Oh, I'm fucking going to court! I did not come so far just to walk away from this shit like this. Nuh-uh. I'm gonna pursue the truth. No matter what happens to the police. Fuck the police. They're incompetent as fuck. But sir, you can't just say that. The police are incompetent in Japan. Like, I played Yakuza 4, and I've seen proof of that. So yeah, fuck the police. I'm pursuing this further. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I gotta get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murder? And what went down in the Chief's office 2 years ago? To be continued. Oh boy, we are almost done. The trial that decides our fate. The final day. Holy shit. I'm excited. So next time on Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, we're going to be heading into the trial former. Final day. And get this case once and for all. Damn you, cat! Okay, I guess I'll see you guys all next time.